What's up, everyone? My name's PlatinumHowler, coach of your Coquitlam Red Gyarados. Today I am bringing you my Week 4 match of the BBR, the Breedjects Battle Royal, versus Blind Messiah and his Chimes gang. And this is going to be post-commed instead of live-commed because as I went to start live-comming this game, I noticed that my capture card software was only displaying a black screen instead of what was actually going on my DS. I could hear the game audio just fine through my computer, but don't have any visuals. So that's something I'm going to have to look into. But for now, I just have this post-commentary of the game. And this also means that going forward after this week, if I can't fix the issue, I'm not going to continuously upload post commentaries. I just don't think it's worth my time, quite honestly. I would want to do live commentaries of the BBR matches if I can get it fixed. If I can't get it fixed, then this could very well be the final upload for BBR, which isn't the worst thing in the world. BBR is non-upload required anyway. But anyway, I'm gonna do a post-com of this game just because I feel like it, because I got good old Lanturn Joe to record the game for me, so shoutouts to him for doing that. I'll just go over my team real quick. I have a dedicated Stealth Rocks Sash lead Crocodile, so that's what I'm leading with. I have a Crobat that's like Toxic Roost. Mesprit is like Rocks, and I think it has Healing Wish as well. Magnezone, it's brought to like trap a Skarmory that didn't come. It also is Air Balloon so that I don't lose to Dragon Dance Dragonite immediately, so like he can't Earthquake me for super effective damage. Manaphy is Waterium Z with Rain Dance and Rest. Goodra is Assault Vest with 4 attacks. So let's just get right into the game here. I decide to lead with my dedicated lead. Go figure. And I'm going to set up rocks against whatever he decides to lead with. I'll be able to live a hit no matter what. And he's going to lead off with the Vikavolt, which isn't too surprising. And I guess he has to decide whether or not he fears a Rock-type Z move from me, because I could very well bring that. But I am just going to set up my rocks, and he stays in and is going to go for a Bug Buzz. And that is going to bring me all the way down to my Sash, because I don't have any HP or special defense or anything like that. I don't have any investment whatsoever. I'm just adamant max attack, max speed, pretty much do as much damage as possible here. With the knockoff, we're going to find out that he was carrying the leftovers, and he's going to take out my Crook with the second Bug Buzz. That is totally fine. I actually don't really have too much on my team to hit the Vikavolt. The best thing that I can do right here is go into my Goodra, click Fire Blast, hope that he stays in. If he switches out, then I might have an easier time dealing with the Vikavolt, because he would most likely come back in on rocks and be at about like 30%, and from that range I think it'd be easier for me to deal with. But thankfully he just does just stay in, and we connect the Fire Blast, so we are able to knock out his Vikavolt on turn 3. I was thinking that there was a chance he might make the Porygon 2 switch earlier, but he drops it in now on the free switch, and I make a play that I regret going into the Magnezone, because I risked the Air Balloon popping, which is something I probably should not have done. But thankfully he just clicked Recover to scout what I wanted to go for. I think I went into Magnezone thinking he would be likely to click Toxic, and since he has no electric immunities on his entire draft, I know that I can bring Magnezone in pretty freely and just Volt Switch out into anything depending on what his play was. He just stays in and goes for a Foul Play to try to break my Air Balloon on the Magnezone. As I drop in my Crobat, I'm going to be able to go for a Toxic on this turn, except it's going to fail because he switches in his Ditto. So this Ditto nickname, man, it's got me a little bit pissed off, honestly. Why does Game Freak allow people to nickname their mons prostitute when I can't even nickname my crocodile Sobek like I want it to, because it has the consecutive letters S-O-B. Like, the word prostitute is allowed, but the letters S-O-B aren't allowed. Like, that is... Come on, Game Freak. You gotta step up with your censorship here. So he brings in the Crobat or the Ditto, copies Crobat, goes for a Brave Bird, and I basically heal all of that damage off by staying in and going for a Roost. So on this turn, if he had stayed in and gone for Brave Bird again, he would have broken my Magnezone's Air Balloon, but I would have got free Volt Switch momentum because there was no way that he would stay in. Like, he wouldn't be doing any damage to Magnezone at all. So I actually catch his Clefable switching in, and I'm going to be able to go for a Flash Cannon now as he switches out into the Porygon 2 again, and this thing is getting considerably weakened. He is at about 25%, so he basically has to go for a recovery here. So this time I'm going to drop in my Mesprit so I can potentially get a knockoff off against him, or whatever wants to come in. I can get rid of his Violate so that this thing would be easier to deal with. I guess the main reason I didn't go into Crobat this time is because I didn't want him like repeating the cycle and just going into the Ditto to prevent Toxic and whatnot. Also to note, interesting to note, we did see that the Clefable came in on rocks and took damage, so he is unaware Clefable, which is not surprising. That is the best check on his team to my Manaphy. But unfortunately right here, I got the knockoff. I knocked off this Ditto's Choice Scarf when it came in on my Mesprit, so I was hoping that I would win a speed tie here and get the and KO the Ditto with a U-turn. But unfortunately, he wins the speed tie. He's able to go for a knockoff of his own and get rid of my Rocky Helmet, so that is a little bit more damage on my Mesprit that I didn't want to take, and also my Rocky Helmet is gone, which would have been able to chip his Mega Medicham down relatively effectively. So as his Ditto goes down, I drop in my Crobat, and he brings in the Dragonite, which thankfully I have my rocks up, so multi-scale on his end is broken. He goes for a Dragon Dance, and I still have my Air Balloon intact on Magnezone, so I don't think he has anything to be able to OHKO me. I can just stay in and click Hidden Power Ice. This is not going to do anything because he roosts up back to a range where multi-scale is intact, plus he loses his flying typing, so Hidden Power Ice is only 2 times effective. But he can't win this exchange because he still has to break my Air Balloon with a resisted Dragon Claw, and multi-scale is not intact anymore. Hidden Power Ice is 4 times super effective, and it's going to be able to knock out the Dragonite, so that's one threat that's out of the way. Now the Mega Medicham is going to come in, and I decide to switch in my Mesprit because this is what I brought Mesprit for. I could potentially still have some use from my Magnezone later in the game because he still has a Clefable on his side that I'm going to have to find a way to wear down. So Mega Medicham actually goes for a substitute. I really don't agree with this bring on his part because I very easily could be Infiltrator Crobat to damage him right through his substitute, but unfortunately for me, I brought Inner Focus because I thought it would be more likely that he would bring Fake Out on the Medicham, so that way he couldn't get extra chip damage off against me, and then actually get a flinch with Fake Out, and then I'd just be able to go for a Brave Bird and knock him out. But he did go for the substitute route. Fair decision, I guess. It's going to work out really well for him because I don't have a move on my Mesprit that can break his substitute in one hit. I have to go for a knockoff followed by a U-turn to break the substitute so I can get my Crobat in to threaten him out. And I'm not like I know that he's going to switch out, but there's no point in me predicting him and going for a Toxic on whatever comes in. I can just go for a Toxic on the following turn, as he is going to bring in the Clefable to take this Brave Bird, and then on the next turn I will go for a Toxic since I know that he is unaware and not Magic Guard. He will be gradually whittled down by the Toxic. And I basically take no recoil from that anyway, and I'm going to heal it all back with my Black Sledge, so that's all well and good. So this Clefable is going to actually get its rocks up, which is going to chip down my Crobat if I have to switch it in a ton of times, and I am hoping that that doesn't put me down to a range where he could knock me out with a priority move on his Medicham, like Bullet Punch potentially. But I am just going to click Brave Bird right here and hope to knock him out. But it falls a little bit short, and he's going to actually throw up a Wish, which is an interesting play. Because he's going to die to Toxic on this turn, so the only purpose that Wish has is to heal up the Porygon 2. So he basically just has like a free turn to attack with the Porygon 2 right here. He's definitely not bringing in the Medicham because it dies to Brave Bird anyway. And I'm going to be able to get a Toxic off against this thing. Thankfully, it's super nice that Toxic is 100% accurate on poison types. I don't have to worry about it missing, because if it had missed here, I could have potentially been in trouble. But we're finally going to be able to get the Toxic off against this thing. He reveals that he has Thunderbolt, and that only does about 50%, and I'm going to be able to click Roost here to heal pretty much all of that back up, and the following Thunderbolt is not going to be dealing super effective damage to me. The one thing that I don't want to happen, however, is I don't want him to get a paralysis off against me, because that means his Medicham will be faster than me and it will be able to KO me with his Zen Headbutt. Unfortunately for me, he does get the paralysis on the second Thunderbolt that he goes for. So I needed to go for Roost there to make sure that my Crobat was healthy enough, because he did get rocks up. I didn't bring a way to get rid of them. So on the following turn I was going to switch out my Crobat no matter what, because I wasn't willing to risk him. Like, I could have just stayed in and clicked Roost and stalled that Porygon 2 out, but that was not a smart play, because then I risk getting paralyzed as he goes for Thunderbolts repeatedly. And right here, I probably should have dropped in my Magnezone instead of my Mesprit, because I did have Healing Wish on my Mesprit. If I had brought it in on a clean switch, I would have had an opportunity to click Healing Wish, sack off my Mesprit, and heal my Crobat, heal the paralysis on my Crobat, so that I would still be faster than his Medicham. But I made a dumb play and just brought it in, as it wasn't able to survive the combination of Thunderbolt plus Rocks damage. So now my Magnezone is in here, and I'm just going to click attacks, as this thing is going to be whittled down by the toxic damage. He can't really do much damage to me if his only two attacking moves are Foul Play and Thunderbolt. So eventually this thing goes down, and now that all he has left is the Mega Medicham, but he's in the Medicham is in a pretty strong position, because he has Drain Punch to recover any damage that I'm able to do to him, and he outspeeds everything on my team. My Manaphy is not very fast. It only has enough speed after I get the Z Rain Dance off to outspeed his Greninja at +1, so it's not very fast at all. So this Medicham is going to outspeed. I drop in my Goodra here to try to get some damage off, and thankfully he misses his Zen Headbutt. I thought that was definitely his play, because I didn't think that Drain Punch would do enough to get a kill. But it actually straight OHKOs my Goodra from 87.5% or whatever, from 7/8 HP. That's insane. He heals all of the damage off that I did to him. So I just completely sacked my Goodra for no reason. I could have kept it as a point in the differential in the back. And I do it again with my Crobat here. I know that he has to go for... he pretty much has to go for Zen Headbutt right here to knock me out. So I was hoping that maybe he would miss again, and I would break through Paralysis and knock him out with a Brave Bird. And the reason I did that is because I was totally forgetting that I had the option of clicking Hydro Vortex with my Manaphy instead of Z Rain Dance. So this is what I should have brought in right away, and I wouldn't have... Like, there was no reason for me to sack off the Goodra and the Crobat like that. I could have had them in the back, and assuming that this modest max special attack Hydro Vortex knocks out his Mega Medicham, I could have potentially won this game 3-0 instead of 1-0, which I do win. According to my opponent, that was not a roll to kill. It was a guaranteed kill because I was modest max special attack mana fee. So GG to Blind Messiah. I really hope that the differential that I completely threw out the window in this game doesn't come back to bite me, because I improved to 2-2 now after 4 weeks. So I'm looking at, like, I'm gonna be in a battle down the stretch to get one of the playoff spots in my conference. So I definitely can't complain about getting the win, but I wish that I had been more alert and not like and realized that the proper use of my Z Crystal on Manaphy was to bring it in and get the Oko against his Medicham. He did say that he thought about clicking Substitute on that turn, and if he had, he probably would have won because he did outspeed me. He was adamant Medicham, so he wasn't expecting to outspeed my Manaphy. I guess he thought that I would have had more speed investment on my Manaphy, so that's why he didn't go for Substitute, because he thought I would be faster. Of course, Substitute would have been a really nice play, but at that point I just had to click the Z move and hope that it did enough to knock him out. So yeah, crisis averted. We'll take a 1-0 win, even though we probably should have had a 3-0 win. Probably could have maybe even had a 4-0 win had I not got paralyzed with the Crobat there. I mean, had Crobat not got paralyzed, Manaphy wouldn't have ever had to see the field in the first place. But that's okay. Very good game to Blind Messiah. I don't think he has a YouTube channel. He's a replacement coach in this league, so yeah, this could very well be the last BBR upload. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll have more Pokemon stuff upcoming. This is going to go up on Sunday, and Monday, tomorrow, I'll have the debut of a new Showdown series of a tournament that I'm competing in currently, so you can look forward to that. And then, of course, we have Luigi's Mansion going up on Tuesdays and Fridays every week. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.